Barcelona set to splash 100 million euros on Lewandowski's successor, Onana on his way to Turkey, Xavi back in the dugout. And could Real Madrid beat Liverpool to Marc Guehi? All that and loads more in today's episode. If this video hits 350 likes, I'll sit down straight away and start working on the next one. Let's jump into the latest transfer rumors. Crystal Palace are ready to compromise. According to Football Insider, the club planned to lower their asking price for Marc Guehi in January. In the summer, the Eagles wanted £35 million. Now the fee is set to drop by £10 million. In other words, the captain could be available for around £25 million. And naturally, Liverpool are first in line. The Reds had a tense summer deadline. They sealed the record-breaking deal for Alexander Isak and then pushed hard for Guehi as a second marquee signing. The player gave his approval. Liverpool approached Palace, but the move collapsed at the last moment. The London club simply couldn't find a replacement in time, and manager Oliver Glasner insisted on keeping the defender at least until winter. For Guehi himself, it was a blow. He was ready to move, but the transfer fell through. His contract runs out next summer, leaving Palace in a risky spot. Sell him in January at a discount or lose him for free. Realistically, January is their last chance to cash in. Liverpool will be there again. At £25 million, Guehi looks like a strong solution for the club's defensive issues. Arne Slot's project still lacks a reliable center back, and the plan all along was to fill that gap with him. But competition is looming. Bayern Munich are in need of a player with his profile, and Real Madrid could wait until next summer to sign him for nothing. For them, it's a classic move. Why pay now when you can get him free? And just like you could wait and keep watching videos for free, but then risk YouTube's algorithm dragging you away to someone else's content. Do what Liverpool would. Act now. Subscribing guarantees you won't miss the end of this story. In the end, it's a race against time and rivals. Liverpool have the advantage. The player was already one step away from joining them, and that connection could prove decisive. But with Bayern and Real circling, January will be anything but easy. Manchester United look ready to relive the days when money was thrown around by the bagful. Only now the bags are even heavier. The club are planning a move for Brighton's Carlos Baleba, and they're willing to pay more than £100 million. Let's be clear, this isn't about Haaland, but a 21-year-old midfielder that most fans outside England have barely seen play. Here's the background. United made their first moves back in the summer. Nothing aggressive, no rush, more a case of testing the waters. They approached Brighton, made it known their interest was real, and got the expected response: a flat refusal. Clubs with Brighton's resources don't let players go without need, especially not for the figures first discussed. And yet, United didn't stop there. According to The Athletic, they even agreed personal terms with Baleba. The player is keen, the details are written down, and now it's just a matter of waiting until Brighton are more open, or until United's offer becomes simply too big to turn down. Why Baleba? The answer is simple. Under Ruben Amorim, United want an engine in midfield, someone who can dictate play, cover ground, and control the tempo. The belief inside the club is that Baleba is perfect for that role. The only catch? Nobody knows if Amorim himself will still be in charge a year from now, but the seeds are planted. United want to build for the long term, even if the manager changes. The Baleba pursuit is all about risk and ambition, about going all in. It could explode into success or blow up in their face. But in classic United fashion, it will be expensive, loud, and unforgettable. Raheem Sterling is still on Chelsea's books, earning £300,000 per week, and the club frankly don't know what to do with him. Interest from Fulham, West Ham, and Crystal Palace led nowhere. No one can afford his wages, and no deal with the Blues could be struck. Now Chelsea are reportedly considering the most drastic option, terminating his contract 2 years early. According to Football Insider, the club are weighing up simply cutting him loose to get him off the wage bill. Financially, it looks costly, with compensation likely between £10 to £20 million. But in the short term, it would save millions in wages and might finally force Sterling to move on. So far, though, there's been no push from the player. Saudi Arabia and Turkey still have open windows, yet there's zero activity on his side. Sterling has made it clear he wants to stay in London. Fulham were genuinely interested, even had him on their shortlist, and reports suggested a £20 million fee. But the sticking point again was wages. Nobody wants to pay £300,000 a week, and Sterling doesn't look ready to lower his demands. If Chelsea keep him, they're stuck paying for a player who barely features, which makes a contract termination seem like the only way forward. Let him walk free and negotiate elsewhere, because right now, it's a stalemate where everyone loses. Andre Onana looks finished at Manchester United. The club have made their first clear move to offload the Cameroonian, offering him on loan to Trabzonspor. The Turkish side are open and talks are already underway. The deal isn't done yet, but United are pushing to get it settled before the Turkish window shuts. The 29-year-old never really settled at Old Trafford. United have already signed Senna Lamens, a 21-year-old Belgian who isn't just a bench option. He's seen as the future, and competition for the #1 spot is expected to start immediately. According to Team Talk, Ruben Amorim doesn't see Onana as part of his project and has made that clear. We move on. That makes a loan to Trabzonspor a logical interim step. Two scenarios. Either Onana heads to Turkey to restart his career, or he waits for a bigger payday, potentially from Saudi Arabia. Reports say talks with the Saudi Pro League are real, with offers on the table. And after United missed out on the Champions League, his salary automatically dropped 25%. Financially, the Saudi move is tempting, with huge checks waiting. Ineos, however, still prefer a permanent sale. Loaning out a keeper of his status is easier than finding a buyer willing to pay, but refusing any loan would make little sense when an alternative is already in place. Friends, let's take a short pause. Drop a like or dislike on this video. Every reaction helps the channel grow, and we appreciate it. As it stands, Onana knows he'll be on the bench at United with Lamens around. His chances of reclaiming the #1 spot are gone. If Trabzonspor pull it off, he stays afloat. If not, expect the call from Riyadh. One way or another, Onana's time at Old Trafford is ending. Drama at Bayer. Just 2 league rounds, 3 official matches, 62 days in charge, and Erik ten Hag has already been shown the door. The board wasted no time. A poor start, questionable decisions, unrest inside the club. The result was an immediate sacking, and not a cheap one. According to Sportbild, the Dutchman will receive around 5 million euros in compensation. In total, for 2 months of work, Ten Hag made 6 million euros. That's almost 100,000 euros per day. His stay in Leverkusen was short, but certainly lucrative. Bayer instantly turned to Javi Hernandez. On paper, it seemed ideal. The former Barcelona boss had recently said he was ready to return, looking for a new project. But Marca claimed his answer was immediate: no. Javi felt the timing was wrong, and it's not hard to see why. A club that just fired its coach after 2 games with nerves high and no trust in the project. Risking his reputation in that atmosphere made no sense. Now Bayer are back at square one, scrambling to find another candidate. Meanwhile, Javi calmly waits for the right opportunity and has openly admitted he'd like to try the Premier League, but only if the project is worth it. In the end, Leverkusen are left with an empty chair, Ten Hag with a pile of euros, and Javi with a clear head. And it feels like the only real winner here is the Dutchman. Barcelona are laying the groundwork for a major transfer. According to Fichajes, the Catalans have already started shaping their strategy for the summer of 2026, and at the heart of it is Julian Alvarez of Atletico Madrid. The figure being discussed is serious, up to 100 million euros. It makes sense. The club must prepare for life after Robert Lewandowski. The Pole is already 37, still performing at a high level, but time is against him. An option to extend until 2027 exists, but it only delays the inevitable. Barcelona will need a new leader in attack. Enter Alvarez, World Cup winner, Copa America winner, Champions League experience, and versatile enough to play as a central striker or a second forward, a perfect fit for Hansi Flick's high-pressing system. What might push the Argentine to consider a move? Quite simply, Diego Simeone. Reports say Alvarez is frustrated at Atletico. To score nearly 30 goals in a season only to be shifted out wide to track fullbacks, or even subbed off at halftime, is not what he expected. His contract runs until 2030, but his frustration is growing. He feels he's not being treated as a key player, and if another season passes without trophies, he will seriously consider his future. For Barcelona, it's a signal. They need Lewandowski's heir, and they see Alvarez as the ideal choice. Sources add that the player has always had an interest in Camp Nou. Inside the club, they know it will take a massive fee, but the reward is obvious: a long-term leader in attack and a potential new face of the team. The deal won't be easy. Atletico won't let him go cheaply, with talks starting at 100 million euros. But Barcelona plan to make their move in 2026. If Alvarez's frustration grows, the situation could tilt their way. So the two big questions: will Atletico hold firm, and will Simeone finally give Alvarez the status he wants? If not, a move to Camp Nou could become inevitable. And while we're talking inevitability, when are you going to subscribe? You watch these videos every time, but still no sub. Come on, fix that today.